maybe. I think it's happening. Hi! Hi, everyone! How are you guys doing? I hope you can hear me and everything. I've never done the phone version of YouTube streaming. I can't tell. Oh. Okay, I think you guys can hear me. I hope so. Please let me know if you can hear me. Let me know. Just say hello. Hi from Liverpool. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, you guys can hear me? Okay, good. Hi. Thanks guys for being here. This is kind of a last minute thing. This is not how I typically operate. But we just went over the 150K mark for the channel, which is pretty crazy. And I wanted to celebrate and also just be here to answer any questions and just have some time with you guys that's a little more casual and everything. So I have, oh hi, oh yay, there's so many people, yay. So just so you guys know, I'm on like the new, YouTube just rolled out like I don't know when they did it because they don't tell anyone anything, but there's like a live stream on my phone now instead of doing it on my computer. So bear with me because I've never done it before. So it's gonna look like I'm poking you in the face a bunch, but I'm just trying to look at the comments. For anyone who hasn't already, make sure that you click the little bell thingy on the channel to get notifications, because that's how you'll know if I do these things or if I post videos, just so you know. Okay, all right. I'm going to try to just get to some questions because I want to make the most of y'all's time. So there's a lot of stuff happening up in here. Okay. Okay, thanks for letting me know that you guys can hear me. I see that. Okay, okay, so Julian Mack says, and again, just preemptively, I'm going to probably say everyone's names incorrectly. I'll just say that up front. Julian asked, what do you tell non-vegans if they say, oh, you vegans think that you are so much morally better, but you kill bugs in crops and there's animals in computers and cell phones? That's a good question, Julian. And I actually have a video on that and once I'm done with this Q&A, you guys, I'm going to go in after the fact and put in links that are specific, like videos that are specific to every question, and hopefully eventually also have time markers for every single question, which is what I've done with the previous Q&A that you guys can watch that's like super long, but I put time markers so you can jump to each question. So it'll take a little bit of time to do that and to caption it, but I will do that. So anyway, Julian, your question with what about, vegans kill bugs when and animals when they harvest the foods and everything. So I do have a video called do vegans kill animals more than meat eaters? And I go into that because there was this one study that was kind of put out a while back about, oh, hey, vegans kill more animals than non-vegans with the harvesting process. But if you watch the video, you'll see that the way that the study was conducted, there's just a lot of different caveats and flaws. And in the end, when you really think about it, if you just think about it in the most basic logical manner, in order for meat eaters or if you're eating animals, you're also eating, you're still having to deal with the fact that they ate all of the plants that they're eating. So, non-vegans tend to consume around like 10 times more plant matter at the end of the day than vegans. And so you're kind of compounding anything, even if we do, slaughter like a huge amount of animals with harvesting and whatnot, that's compounded and that's packaged into eating animals. And so it's kind of a non-starter of an argument. And then as far as, and I'm going to try not to do my thing where I spend like 30 minutes answering one question because that's what I tend to do. But you also said, what about when, I'm totally losing my brain track right now. With like computers and cell phones, that there's animal parts in that. That's kind of the whole 100% vegan type of thing, or being a perfect vegan, or can you be completely vegan? I have an older video with Gary Yourofsky called 100% vegan, or can you be 100% vegan? And in that I talk about how being vegan it's the striving to eliminate as much as practicable and possible. However, being humans, we like to take that word and we like to say, well, it's not practicable for me to not eat bacon every day, So it's kind of, taking an honest look at ourselves and the fact that, as long as we are alive and on this world, we are going to be inadvertently hurting other beings, and it's incredibly unfortunate. But that doesn't mean that, because I might step on an insect or drive over many of them with a vehicle, or the vehicle has, animals in it, it's kind of like the black and white thinking of human logic to say, or illogic to say, because I can't not squish a bug every once in a while, I might as well slaughter billions of animals needlessly. Like, it doesn't make sense, we would never say, I can't stop all murders, so I'm just going to stab everyone I see every day, because why not? It's kind of, it's a way of avoiding the issue and avoiding what we actually okay, yeah. Maritza says, don't make the answer so long. You are so correct. Okay, I'm gonna try to shorten it up, you guys. It's hard because I don't want to give you just like a soundbite that's like totally doesn't even answer your question, but then I also want to make sure that I answer more than like 3, because it's like ridiculous. Okay, and there's a lot of them. Okay, so that's I'll link that video later. Oh my gosh, there's a lot, so I'm trying you guys to go back up to the top. Okay, here we go. Hello, everyone. Hi. Now there's a lot telling me you can hear me. Hello, Phil Dieu from France. That was my attempt to say something French. It was not good. Oh, hi from Iceland. Hi, Tina from Iceland. When is it going to start? I think it's starting right now. Okay, here we go. Oh, thank you. Hi, Redneck to Vegan. Hello. Big hello. Okay, guys, I'm getting down to some questions. Oh, the black bean industry says, why are you so awesome? Oh, man, I don't know. I don't know if I even agree with that assessment, but I appreciate it. Hello from Scotland. Hi, Tennessee. Dallas, Texas. Oh, thank you, JV. Hello to you and your wife as well. Thank you. Okay, guys, I'm getting down to a question here. It's going to happen. There's a lot of hellos, which is exciting. Oh, Pay the Troll says, you look great. Thank you. That's weird because it's like a troll saying something nice about my appearance. It's like the reverse. Okay. Hi, Vegan Gains Jr. You get around, sir. Okay. Hey, Vegan Warrior. I haven't seen you in umpteen million years. That's the exact amount of time. Oh, okay. Let's see. Sup. Hi, Hench Herbivore. Oh, thank you for skipping class, poor piggy. I don't know if I'm not going to endorse anyone dropping out of school, but thank you. Okay, here we go. I'm trying to get down, you guys, to like a question. I think you have a video on almost every subject. Yes, Martha, there are a lot of them, yeah. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, you guys. Like the phone, it like shows like 2 comments at a time. Oh, here we go. Okay, Pay the Troll asked, how do you help someone who has relapsed with eating meat? So, I guess with that, it depends on what the factor was, what it is that, why they went back to eating meat, if they think that, if they, were feeling ill or feeling like maybe I have a nutritional deficiency, or I'm feeling weak, so I'm going to, go back to eating meat. A lot of times, just it's hard to, I tend to make generalizations sometimes when I don't want to, but there's no better way of doing it for these kind of answers. But it does seem that we as humans tend to kind of jump to conclusions of, oh, I feel weak, it must be that I went vegan, and especially with something like going vegan, where there's already kind of this predisposition to believing that it's not good for us, or that there's gonna be an issue with it. I kind of poked fun at this with my New Year's Eve, how vegans ruin New Year's is, like as soon as someone goes vegan, like, oh my God, my iron is gone, my B12's gone. So if it's something nutritional, it can be kind of like helping ground them a little bit, with, if they feel like something's wrong nutritionally, go see a doctor, get some blood work done. Us trying to like just assume maybe something is wrong with me can be difficult. A lot of times I think it's like social pressure or just the messages that we get, because once someone goes vegan, maybe they saw Earthlings, maybe they made the connection, and then they're back into their environment, and 99.999% of the messages that we get are that eating animals is normal and regular and good, and you're weird if you don't. And so I think depending on why that person went back to eating meat would kind of determine what approach would be best. But I think kind of finding out what it is, what fears they might have, what the problem might be, and just kind of helping them connect with what it is, why they wanted to go vegan in the first place, and giving them a sense of community if it is something about, feeling isolated or feeling like they're the only person, or that, their family won't accept them. So, it's just there's a lot of ways to go about it, because it's hard not knowing if you don't know why they went back. But one thing I will say, and then I'm gonna keep going, you guys, 'cause I'm gonna try to knock it out, is that there is a time sometimes, like especially with family, if you're hitting a wall and you feel like you're just kind of trying to make someone vegan, it might be time as well to kind of give them space and just be the best example that you can be, because we can't make anyone vegan, and sometimes it actually is like counterproductive if we try. But helping people make that connection for themselves is how it can really last, because then they've come to that conclusion on their own. Okay. Hi, Katie from Oklahoma. I am doing well, thank you. Oh, yay, Sophie. That's so great that your friends are moving on the veg train there. That's awesome. Okay, Theo Vegan, I see that your question needs an answer, but I can't find it because I'm sure it's way above where I am right now, because the comments jump up all the time. In our country, you can't find the much vegan. Sorry, guys. Oh, thank you, Meat Free Athlete. Thank you, Anne-Marie, for the congratulations. Saw when you went to the pigs before slaughter. Hi, Hilda. Thank you. Yes, that was good. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm looking. Okay. Okay, that's weird. Okay. All right. This is just a bizarre way to try to find questions. It's a bit overwhelming. Okay. Let's see. Oh, thank you, NJ Gal. I'm really glad that you enjoy the details, because I tend to be excessive with them. Like way much. It's really hard to try to wrap it up. And herbivore. I'm hoping that you're joking about, is it vegan to cut your lawn? Yeah, I think so. I mean, you can find maybe manual mowers if you want to be less using gas and whatnot. Oh, Allie Cat Strike says, I saw you at Rowdy Girl, but I was too nervous to say hi. Just so you guys know, if you ever see me in the real life, definitely don't feel bad. Come up, and because I'm the most awkward human being in the world, so I'm probably far more nervous than you are. So just definitely come up and say hi to me. I also will sometimes be in my own little universe, so it's never that I'm not paying attention. I'm just totally, up in my head thinking about videos and talks and stuff. So definitely come up and always feel free to say hi. I might feel startled. I might seem startled at first, but then I'll be all right. So, okay, here we go. Oh my goodness. Emma Cat says, look at my question. I don't know where it is. There's so many things because I can only see 2 at a time. Okay, Ariel says, any suggestions for effective vegan activism? I do have a number of videos about that. I think Just Speak is a talk that I have about that I did at Toronto Pig Save, at the Chicken Save at the slaughterhouse there. I've always just said that the most effective form of activism is really what you connect with and what you're passionate about, because if you try to model yourself after this activist, I like what they do, and I'm going to try to be that person and do it that way, I think people connect with honesty and when you're genuinely invested, people can tell. And that's what I feel that's what they connect with a lot of times. So if you find a form that works for you, something that you're really passionate about, then I think that's probably more advantageous than even trying to find, the best way. That said, I put a lot of value in education. I think education is really a powerful way of advocating, because it proliferates, it moves outwards. And so if someone gets the knowledge and understands, why all of the arguments, or like the reasons and the rationalities, or it really connects with them, they have that knowledge, they can then help educate others. So I think education is an incredibly powerful tool, and you'll also have, that's going to help hopefully break the chain of parents teaching their children and then children teaching their children about, it's okay to eat and kill the animals that we love, so it kind of helps then break that down. So I also obviously direct action is really valuable for the animals who are rescued in that moment. So that's also something that's incredibly powerful, because to them that's their only life. Okay, so let's get up in here. All right. Oh, Jonathan, you said you met me at the March to Close All Slaughterhouses. Yay, hi. Lycan, I'm sorry that the lag is bad. I don't know if it's on my end or yours. I don't know. Tara Scott, it's like I keep going back up, you guys, and I'm trying to find your questions, and then I find you asking if I'd seen your question. So, Ray Ma says, if that's how you say it, have you ever thought about visiting the Netherlands? There are not a lot of vegans, and awareness is needed. I would love to. I have like a massive plan that I would love to do for it's like a giant, crazy project that would be an astronomical amount. I have so many of these things that I want to do, but one of them is involving kind of what I did for Ireland, with going really in depth into the government documents and looking at the best standards of that country, and kind of as a case study of the whole humane debate as a whole, because Ireland is one of the most idealized places around the world of, this is like grass-fed, pasture-raised cows and all of these things. And so kind of using that as, let's look at what the actual standards are, because the standards are actually never met. And when you actually look down into the standards, they're pretty horrifying. So I, would love, one of my long-term goals is to be able to kind of do something like that for every country, and then build like a giant database as well, and all of these things. And that way activists and vegans and people learning would be able to access this information and, learn more about the regulations in their areas and their countries, and thus be able to better educate. And then on top of that also, learn how to do the research as well themselves and find more information. So, but that's a huge thing. Like right now I'm still trying to just keep up with the basics. But that's, part of why I'm, taking all this time behind the scenes to try to build up the structure and the sustainability of Bite Size Vegan, is so that eventually I can hopefully expand the resources and be able to provide more for more people. So, okay, let's get up in here. Thanks, you guys. I see some of you guys are answering each other, so that's very helpful too. Oh, hi, Rachel. She said, will you ever come back to the UK? Met you in Manchester. You wrote in my card. Yes, I would love to. There's so many places I would like to go. So, okay, let's see. He doesn't even bother you. I eat dogs. Good for you. That's fantastic. Okay. Some of these are they're like super offensive, but they're hilarious in their offensiveness that it just makes me giggle. Okay. Sorry about that, you guys. Okay. Oh, that's lovely. Thank you. That's, I really like the creative insults. Those are like the best ones. Okay. Okay, JV Marancello says, the best advice on how to help friends cut out honey. A best documentary or resources. Thank you. So I have a video, two videos on honey. One is pretty old, but it's the main one I think that people come see. I do have a new video, or newer video on honey that's for kids, but it has more updated information. So that one I would recommend for getting kind of more of a comprehensive thing. Even though it's for kids, it also makes it pretty easy to access, I guess. The older one, it still has good information. The editing is something else. But one thing that I've been trying to figure out, oh my goodness, this is like this little mobile thing. Okay, with the older honey video, there's like one part that I wanted to be able to do a caveat, because I quote TC Fry, I think, who, you know, of course, looking back, like the longer that I've done these videos, the more I've gotten more in depth and careful about my sources and my citations. And so if you go to the really older videos, a lot of those are not cited, or, you know, I don't package them in the way that I do now. And that's one of the long-term things as well that I want to go back through. Probably need a whole team with that to cite all of those. Anyways, that said, check out those videos. There are links to other things as well. I think one of the, for me, like talking about, there's a couple things angles you can go with honey. Of course, there's like the gross out factor, which there's a lot of controversy over whether that's like a good approach to do, but the fact that, you know, it's more or less bee vomit. Of course, they're putting it in their, like a crop rather than a stomach. But, you know, for me, like what's most impactful is that honey is the food that bees make for their babies, their family. And for the production of honey for humans, you know, they're given this like sugar substitute that's inadequate for them nutritionally, and, you know, killed off during the winters most of the times. And so then you also have the issue of the shipping of the bees. They're shipped in the mail, and like queen bees, a lot of times they're killed or they're damaged in the shipping, and in order to keep the queens in the hive, they'll have their wings ripped off. And I mean, it's just like anything else that we do with non-humans, where, you know, we're controlling every aspect of their lives and for our benefit. So okay, so but I would check out those videos, and I'll link them below when I get back up in here. Okay, yeah, and I do need to get some moderators, you guys. I'm sorry I didn't have that in place yet, because I've never done this thing. It's brand new to me, and technology, you know, is very disturbing. Okay. I'm trying to go back up so I don't just answer the newest ones. Oh, thank you, Arve. I'm gonna keep doing. Oh, Maria Marklitz, thank you. That's very sweet. I really appreciate it. Okay. Okay. I do have vaccinations on my video list, which I've had on my list forever, but I am going to, that'll be on there. There's a lot of things that I still want to get to. I have hundreds of videos on my list, and so that's one of them. Is vaccinations is definitely going to be one of them. Oh yes, Caleb, I would love to do one for Scotland, a video and a speech for Scotland. There's so many. I mean, I'd love to do one for every country, honestly, because, you know, it doesn't matter how I deal, and I know it's not like that here, but if you really get down to it, it is like that here, because there's no kind way to, you know, enslave and murder animals. There just isn't. So okay. Simon asked, do you consider crops grown using bone meal as a fertilizer vegan? This is a legal requirement for organic crops in Sweden. And that's definitely something that is an important or a question that I get a lot. And I have a video called Grow Your Own Food, something like that, where we talk about veganic gardening. And I do think that would ideally be where things eventually shift to, is, you know, growing our own food primarily, community type gardens, veganic farming. Because veganic, basically that just means that it's not used with, like, if you're doing veganic farming, you're not using bone meal or blood or any of those kinds of things to use as fertilizer. So in countries where, I guess you said, it sounds like bone meal is required by law, I don't know if it's also required for I don't know if it's also required for standard crops. Sorry guys, I gotta hit my battery so that the phone doesn't kick it. I think it went on. Let's hope that it's on. Okay, so obviously you don't want to go to conventional crops if they don't have bone meal, just because then you also have that issue. But I guess I would say, like, do the very best that you can. Again, this is kind of in those lines of practical and possible, or practicable and possible. Ideally, you can even try to grow your own food, as much as you can. So, try to start, a garden if you're able to. There's even a lot of help with, you can look online, and there's a lot of help with, like, even growing your food, even if you're in, like, a tiny apartment and you don't have a yard and those kinds of things. In the video that I have on Grow Your Own Food, I have a lot of links to resources of people who, do this and have a lot of wisdom to give and are very open to helping others. So that I would really recommend. And then, doing the best that you can outside of that, but there are even ways to grow, like, lettuce and stuff, like, in like an apartment, and other things. But again, I just do what you can. If it's between, like, not eating, and getting some organic produce that's grown in an unideal manner, then make sure that you feed yourself. Okay, all right guys, I'm gonna go back up. There's a lot of random stuff happening up in here. It's like I have to do like this, and it's like two comments at a time. It's ridiculous. Okay, Abdallah Kaur asked, could you please do a video on Animal Liberation Front, and do you support this kind of activism? Yeah, I could definitely do a video on them. Ooh. It's hard, the ALF, like the Animal Liberation Front, it's not like a set membership or anything. It's the whole aspect of it is that there is no like set membership or structure or anything, and so commenting on kind of what they do is it's a bit difficult to do that, since it's kind of like people will take out carry out actions and then credit the ALF with it, so it's a bit more of like kind of a loose, unorganized organization type of thing. Wow, there's a lot of stuff happening. Okay, Emma DeCat asked, what do you think of home-raised livestock, like cows, pigs, goats? I know you don't eat meat, just want to know your opinion. I don't know if you mean like raised at home in order to be eaten, but yeah, guys, I'm sorry, Raymond, I do see, like, I would love to delete the spammers. I just, with the amount that are going by, I would just be, like, doing this and poking this the entire time. And I don't want to, like, spend the whole time sitting here and trying to moderate the comments. Next time I'll have to do a better job, you guys, of getting some moderators in place so that I can see the questions and not be, like, poking this the entire time. But anyways, so having like raising animals in your home type of thing. So, even if like, I think it's almost even just more disturbing in some ways that, a lot of times we want to go to like the humane, I know the farmer and they have a small farm, and it's they love their pigs, they love their chickens, they love, these, and I feel like that's almost like a bigger betrayal to the animals. Could you imagine like trusting your caregiver and knowing them and them being kind to you, and then at the very last minute they're, slicing your throat. I feel like from the animal's perspective, that's kind of, it's kind of rough. But I think one of the ways to kind of put it into perspective, at least for those of us in the cultural mindset of, dogs being companion animals and family members, and all the other, other animals being consumable food animals, is, would we use that justification for our dogs? If I went next door to my neighbor and killed their dog, and I said, oh, well, he had a great life, and he was loved, and I did it, he didn't know it was going to happen. It was very peaceful. It doesn't make it okay, It's still cutting a life short. So that's kind of, I guess, what I would go with that. Oh my goodness, these are going crazy, the comments. Okay, I'm gonna try to hit a couple more, you guys. Oh, okay. Oh my goodness, I'm not gonna say this right. Ujwal's channel. I appreciate your boldness with the way you presented the video named The Blurred Lines of Bestiality. Presenting that with proper research in an organized way must have taken a lot of work. Thank you. Yes, that was a very difficult video, and it was like 2 days late, if you guys didn't notice, which I know lately I've not been on my hard and fast schedule that I've kept for the last like 3 years, because there's a whole lot of stuff going on that I'm working on for the channel. But the bestiality video was very intense to make, and it was heartbreaking to research, as I'm sure you can imagine. And then also trying to present a topic like that in a structured and effective manner, and also be cognizant of the very huge taboo and like issues around it, because it's not something that is comfortable for anyone to talk about or hear about. But I feel like that's a lot of times that's exactly why we need to talk about these kinds of things. Is the very things that we try to, hide and put behind closed doors are the things that need the most attention from us. So I won't ever hesitate to address difficult topics. It's quite an undertaking. And I think I was like, at least like the 3 days prior to that, like didn't even sleep, just going through trying to get that video done. Okay. What are your thoughts on? Wow, there's a lot of stuff. Alcohol and veganism for health. How do you reconcile these, or are you alcohol free? It's a struggle for me. That's from Darren Burton. So, Darren, thank you for your question. And I don't think this is what you're asking at all, but I'll just let everyone know. I do have a video called Is Alcohol Vegan? And in that video, I do have links and information about finding out what alcohols are vegan and what is not. So there are vegan alcohol, but alcohols like, beer and liquor and different things. However, I mean, if you are hoping to... if you're going vegan for health and part of that is you want to stop drinking as well, then obviously that's a whole different, issue. But as far as like the veganness of alcohol is, there are a lot that are, and there's and Kaiser, definitely he hit the nose on the head. Nope, nail on the head. There we go. In that video that I have of Is Alcohol Vegan, I do link to barnivore.com, and so that's a really great resource. If you go to their website, they kind of have a really fantastic catalog of alcohol that has been that is vegan and has been verified versus others. And oops, sorry. And then oops, good noise. Good Lord, I'm gonna drop this thing. So, and then in the video I go through more of like why and everything, but that's a really great website as well. Okay. I'm gonna try to answer a couple more, you guys. There's a lot of stuff. If you had to get rid of one species, not humans or microorganisms, what would you get rid of? It's from Mike. I don't think I would. I mean, I know that's like, that defeats the question. But I don't know if I could really say that, really. Okay. That was the worst answer ever. Okay. Oh, thank you, Leslie. That's really sweet. Oh, a thrifty vegan asked, what do you think about killing bugs, like mosquitoes and others, which could be potentially deadly? I actually just answered this. I just had a 2-hour cute live Q&A with my patrons the other day. Ooh, legs falling asleep. And one of my patrons had asked about about dealing with insects invasions in the home and whatnot. And I think it does come down to, I do intend to make a separate video about this. I have for quite some time. I'm gonna have one video on how to deal with insect invasions, like in your home and other places. And also I'm going to do a video on invasive species. So those will be two separate ones. But as just for like a kind of like a quick-ish answer is, with insects, there are times when if like when I lived in India for a while, I did take a malaria medication, and so there are times where, depending on where you are and the circumstances, if it's like a life or death type of thing, it's, it comes down to an element of self-defense, but again, we just as humans, like our tendency is to try to exploit that and to try to say, oh, it was self-defense for me to do X, Y, or Z. I've even heard people say, if you don't kill the pigs are going to kill you, type of thing. So, but, kind of taking it in situation by situation, there are also a lot of ways to naturally prevent, insects from coming into your home or things like this. I also have I have a natural bug spray that I use that's based on, I think it's just like essential oils and things, and it's actually made here in Iowa, and it's fantastic. It works really well, and it's non-toxic. It doesn't kill, the insects. They just don't like it, and it smells nice, because I think most bug sprays, to me at least, like make me feel sick as well. So that's a way to potentially do that without it being toxic or harmful. Yeah, awesome. So. But, also around this area of the country, we have things like brown recluse spiders, if any of you know about them. If you get a bite by a brown recluse, your flesh can start to rot, that's kind of an intense reaction. So maybe if I had a brown recluse about to bite me, probably flick him or her off of my body, and do the best that I can. So, okay. All right, let's see. Ooh, it's already 36 minutes. All right, I'm gonna try to do I guess maybe 2 more, you guys. I'm trying to do my best here. Sorry, guys. I know I need to I'll definitely try to be more prepared next time for comments with moderation and everything. Instant Remix asked, what do you think about fake meat? Is it okay to eat every few days? Well, the fake meat, I guess, it depends on what your concern might be. So if it's a concern of health, then, it depends on, I guess, the level of it being processed and everything, but, it's going to be better than eating animal products. As far as, if it doesn't have anything, if you're not, concerned about the additives or anything in the different fake meat. I'm a huge fan of fake meat, and they even have the veggie burgers that bleed now, which is to me that's creepy. I don't personally want any part of that. However, I'm really glad that exists, because it's the more there are people who they want that. They want to have the same taste, the same texture, the same experience. But they might not want to, they don't want to kill animals anymore, but at least this way they can still have the same taste experience. So I am a huge fan of, all of the vegan alternatives and having them as, realistic as we can make them. Because the more there are direct analogs, the more easily people will be able to transition and more willing to transition, because we're not really making a huge change even. So. Okay, Ariel Reyes asked, is vegan dog food healthy for dogs? I'll answer another one after this, but I just want to say I have a number of videos on that, and if you go to Can Pets Be Vegan, if you if you search Can Pets Be Vegan on either my channel or on BiteSizeVegan.com, you will find the post for that, and if you, on the website, BiteSizeVegan.com, if you search Can Pets Be Vegan, at the bottom of that, I have a bunch more links as well. I do intend to do follow-up videos on that, because I have, because that video is very old, and I also want to do an additional video that's just about cats, because I get the cat question a whole lot. So that is something that I intend to do hopefully soonish. I've been meaning to do it for quite some time. So, oh, thank you, Maritza. I really appreciate it. Okay, guys, let me see if I can find 1 or 2 more. Bye, Joe Budge. Going to sleep. That's awesome. Okay. Oh my goodness. How do you talk about? Wait. Okay. Oh, thank you, Liam. That's really sweet. Oh wow. That was an interesting one. Okay, so Mide Brew asked, how do you avoid hidden non-vegan ingredients? So with the non-vegan ingredients, sometimes sometimes you really don't know. There are different guides that you can find. Like there's like an A to Z guide of animal ingredients. So there are, different like there's ways to kind of, search and learn a little bit more about them. But I think, when it comes down to, especially when you're new and also when you're talking to people who are wanting to go vegan, it gets to a place of like, nope, okay. Like, working on the big stuff, it's pretty, eggs, dairy, meat, honey, these things, doing the best that you can, like being as prepared as you can. You can always look on the back of, if it's a prepared food, you can, look in the ingredients, and at least in America, a lot of times they'll have like allergens and they have to list dairy as one of them. So that's like kind of like a quick way to look, but there are a lot of like sneaky type ingredients, and it's kind of the thing, I do have like a couple of videos that talk about some of the weird additives, especially my older video of what's really in your food, because there's all kinds of bizarre stuff that's in there. So, do the best that you can, be as vigilant as you can, and as you learn, you'll, be able to better, know and adapt in these kinds of things. Of course, when you go out to eat, it's always a little bit of a gamble, because you can try to explain it as best as you can to people, but you're never going to really know exactly how someone's prepared your food. But on your end, of course, the easiest way to avoid them is to, have non-processed food that is, fruits and vegetables and things. Of course, you can then run into the fact that sometimes beeswax or shellac is used on fruits and to make them shiny and stuff. So again, it kind of goes back to that whole 100% vegan, perfect vegan, that kind of thing, when it's really about doing the very best that you can and being honest with yourself about that. So not using that as an excuse to say, oh, well, I can't not eat meat every day, so that's my best. So just kind of it's kind of just takes like this constant reevaluation of ourselves, and that's kind of what I really went into depth with that in the Wake Up Call for Vegans speech that I did. That's kind of talking about how even as vegans, being vegan isn't like the end. Like we're done, yay! I'm vegan. I'm perfect. I don't have to ever, analyze or like look at myself again in what I do. It's like you gotta. It's important for us to stay vigilant as well and continue to evaluate ourselves and be honest with ourselves about what we might still be contributing to. Okay. Yeah, sorry guys. I know the chat's a mess. I feel really bad about that. And I will hopefully do a better job about that next time. Okay, I'm going to answer one more because I gotta go to a super fun business appointment. Woo! Oh, Sophie H for the art supplies. That one's coming very soon. I'm actually in the process of doing a video on art and art supplies, so stay tuned. I apologize that it's taking forever. But that'll be happening. I'm gonna find one more, you guys. It's gonna happen. This is very intense. Oh my goodness, guys, I'm so sorry. This is like super boring dead air time. Good Lord, there's a lot to scroll through. Ein Kaiser, I'm sorry that it's such a short stream. It's just because I have this other appointment coming up. but I wanted to do this. Okay. Ooh. Nope. Okay. Oh, and the coconut thing, I've been having that on my list forever too, as well, to do a video on the monkey slave use in the coconut industry, which is really heartbreaking and rather prolific as well. So it is something that I also want to do. Okay. Ich liebe deine Arbeit. Oh, danke. 5 vegan donkeys. Vielen Dank. Okay, guys. Swear to goodness I'm gonna find one. I love eating horse meat. Okay. That's fantastic. Oh my goodness, you guys. I'm gonna find one more question. It's kind of intense. I think I'm in like the dead zone of lots of weird stuff flying up. Okay. Scroll down and see if there's any new ones, because it's gotten ridiculous. Okay, so where is it? Marnie Travels asked how to deal with cravings for non-vegan foods. I actually have a Q&A, an older Q&A, where that's one of the questions. So if you go to my Q&A playlist, it'll actually say, like, in the title, it's one of the ones in the title, it's like dealing with non-vegan temptations. So check out that Q&A. I do have right now, like, all of the Q&A playlist list. Oh my goodness, the Q&A playlist linked in this description. So, and I'll be going back down in there later and doing more specific links. So, oh, wow. Oh, well, this is really sweet. So Chris Ellum asked, is there anything I can do to help your work directly? I just think you're doing amazing work, and it's been so effective when I've shown my friends and family, and I just want to know if there is anything specific. So, thank you for that. That's very kind of you. I'm currently, one of the biggest things that I'm doing right now behind the scenes is trying to build up the foundation and the structure and everything to be able to bring on like a full volunteer team. If anyone, like, coming in, people to help, do different tasks if people want to volunteer and things, then that would be, like a huge help to be able to keep things functional, because it's like the workload has kind of gone far beyond me a long time ago, and so then I'm kind of falling behind on a lot of different areas. So I will, as like, once that's kind of like the foundation's kind of there, I'm going to be, I'll do like an announcement video on the channel, but anyways, right now, like, one thing is, I do see people say, sometimes I'll have comments of people saying, I'm sorry that I can't support you on Patreon. Patreon's the website where I have crowdfunding to make, this even possible to the level that it is currently. And, I do have people say, I'm sorry, I can't support you there financially. And I want everyone to know that, like, never feel bad about that, because I always reply that, watching the videos, commenting, liking, and then especially sharing. The more you can share the content on different platforms with different influencers, that's incredibly helpful, because I don't have the time, like, to properly even try to, promote or share things enough. And I also am, like, awful at it. So all of that, I don't want anyone to undervalue the effect of that, and how much I appreciate it, and how much your support just from, like, watching and commenting, sharing is incredible. So, I mean, I love having people over on Patreon and the Nugget Army, and I share a whole lot with my patrons, that I don't put on the channel, but I don't want anyone to think that, like, not being on there and just, support just being a viewer is not appreciated, because it's huge. It's huge. The channel wouldn't be what it is if it wasn't for you guys, and I don't forget that for a second, which is why I also feel awful that I've been, falling behind so much recently, and really awful with trying to get to all the different comments and questions and everything. So I do appreciate every single one of you, you know, like, and I know it sounds probably super corny, but it's true. Okay, all right, I guess, ooh. Oh, I saw someone say something about eggs. I do have a video called Can Vegans Eat Eggs from Backyard Chickens? So check that out. All right, guys, let's see. I think that's gonna be it, because I'm gonna be late to this appointment. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm sorry for the kind of like super last minute, like, hey, it's happening, but I really appreciate it, and I definitely next time I'm gonna try to do a better job of getting some moderators ahead of time so that the chat can be something. And I do have service dogs on my list as well, you guys. I'm so sorry. There's so many topics. I want to do everything. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I will also get in and fix this video as soon as I can with links and captions and everything. So really appreciate it. Thank you for watching and everything. Definitely click the bell, because I haven't said that enough. Hi, Vegan Geezer. Way to show up. No, I love you, Martin. All right, guys. Love you. Definitely check out Martin. He's awesome, guys. Vegan Geezer. He has an incredible child called JoJo, who's like the coolest kid in the world. So just saying. All right, I love you guys. Thank you for your support, for your patience, and please just stick with me. I know that I'm a bit of a hotter mess than I normally am right now, which is saying a lot. So I'm gonna go do this business stuff as if I know what I'm doing as a business person. I don't. Okay, bye guys. I love you. Thank you so much.